From Jonathan and me, welcome to the programme.
First tonight, he's thought to be the world's heaviest man, weighing 70 stone and eating up to 20,000 calories every day. Paul Mason from Ipswich is classed as super obese and is now in need of life-saving treatment.
Today, doctors and health officials were trying to find a way to get him to a hospital in West Sussex. The journey is more than 150 miles and could be made very difficult by his weight.
And our correspondent Victoria Webb joins us now from Bramford near Ipswich. Victoria, I gather there could be a solution this evening to the problem.
Well, here at St John Ambulance in Bramford, they have a special vehicle that's been designed to move overweight people. It has a larger wheelchair, a larger stretcher, and they're actually in talks with the PCT at the moment about the possibility of moving Paul Mason. Now, Mr Mason woke up this morning to headlines like this. He's had the media camped on his doorstep all day. We've met him twice in recent years. Most of the time he's bedridden, and if he does need to leave his house, it requires a huge amount of help. Now doctors have the challenge of moving him 150 miles for an operation that could both save his life and give him a life back. As this crew at St John Ambulance in Bramford near Ipswich prepare for their next job, they've got a few alterations to make before they leave. That's because today the ambulance needs to be used as a bariatric vehicle, moving extremely overweight patients. St John Ambulance prides itself on being able to maintain the dignity of its patients. From the outside, this ambulance looks just like any other, but on the inside, specialist equipment allows them to carry patients weighing up to 70 stone. Patients like Paul Mason from Ipswich. He wouldn't speak to the media today, but we featured him on Anglia 6 years ago when he was 45 stone. He admitted then it was down to compulsive eating, triggered by traumatic events.
I used to get through about 24 packets of crisps in one day, you know, a box, you could say. Or, and probably about 10 to 12 pounds worth of chocolate.
We revisited Paul in his home in March this year when he told us how the fire service has helped move him in the past. He was 60 stone when we interviewed him. According to reports, he's since gained another 10 stone.
I had to go to hospital for emergency operation. And if it weren't for them, by physically moving me and removing the side of my wall and my flat and taking me to hospital, I wouldn't be here now.
Paul is now in need of life-saving specialist treatment. He has to get from his home in Ipswich to a hospital in Chichester. That's a journey of 150 miles, taking roughly 3 hours by road. But health officials in Suffolk need to decide how they're going to get him there.
It's like any kind of dependence or addiction that you can either cut it out altogether or you give in to it. There's no sort of middle way. It's very difficult with food. You can't just give up like smoking or alcohol or drugs and live without it. You have to eat something.
One way of transporting Paul would be with St John Ambulance, who already drive him to various appointments around 4 times a year.
We're talking with the PCT about the transportation of a client from Ipswich to a specialist centre for bariatric treatment, yes. This is probably one of the only ambulances in the country that can take bariatric patients up to 70 stone.
NHS Suffolk said they have a duty to protect the confidentiality of all their patients. In a statement, Dr Andrew Hassan, the medical director, said, "We always put the needs of our patients first. As such, we have a responsibility to provide the right care for all of our patients while ensuring their safety and dignity." Paul's room is fitted with a hoist and his home has wide doors, making it easier for ambulance staff to wheel him out. Whichever travel option NHS Suffolk chooses will be designed to give Paul a comfortable journey as he prepares for his life-saving operation.
Well, Victoria, I mean, this is the case, as you say, that's hit the headlines that everyone's talking about. But generally, how big a problem is obesity?
Well, recent figures show that NHS surgery to help the obese lose weight have actually more than doubled in the past year. There were 4,619 operations in England. That's a 51% rise on the previous year. The problem costs the NHS millions of pounds a year. Now, as we heard from that surgeon in that report, for people like Paul, this is a psychological condition that has taken years to develop. Let's just hope that this surgery can help him live a more normal life.
Indeed, Victoria, thank you very much for that. Right, a retired engineer from Suffolk has lost the latest round in his fight to stop his home falling into the sea.
Peter Boggis has been building his own coastal defences since 2002. Today, the Court of Appeal found in favour of Natural England, who want to allow the area to erode naturally.
But tonight, Mr Boggis from Easton Bavents near Southwold is refusing to give up and says he'll take his case to the European Court. Serena Sandu reports.
A typically autumnal day on the Suffolk coast, but a new storm is brewing over one man's attempts to turn back the sea. Since 2002, Peter Boggis has been building his own sea defences to protect his home at Easton Bavents near Southwold, but now he's been told he must get planning permission.
I'm naturally disappointed, but I'm not at all despondent. I'm looking forward to getting the matter sorted out thoroughly and properly.
This is the problem that Peter Boggis faces. These cliffs are simply crumbling away under the might of the North Sea. The retired engineer, dubbed King Canute, claims the 250,000 tonnes of clay and soil he's already put in place has saved 4 properties and 8 acres of land. He's also argued that his work is protecting the area that Natural England declared a site of special scientific interest. Last year, the High Court agreed, saying that Natural England's plan to let the cliffs erode naturally was unlawful. Today, though, that ruling was quashed.
My next step depends upon what the courts have to say in detail, but I would hope to go either to the Supreme Court or the European Court to resolve this matter in full depth.
Natural England welcomed today's judgment, saying they plan to continue working with Mr Boggis and other agencies to find a mutually acceptable coastal defence scheme.
Our job is to recognise the environmental importance and then to work with Peter and others to see if we can find solutions. And I'm really encouraged to say in the last 6 months to 12 months we've been working quite closely with Peter and the local authority to see if we can find a way of protecting his and others' homes. So this court case is an important, I would hope we can draw a line under it and move on to look at how we can protect his and others' homes whilst also looking after the environmental importance.
Mr Boggis remains determined to defend his home, fighting the sea and, if need be, in the courts. Serena Sandu, Anglia News, Easton Bavents near Southwold.
Next, an ex-soldier has been telling how he turned detective to get his stolen car back after the police failed to find it.
Rowan Webb from Ipswich texted all of his friends to keep an eye out for his car, and when one of them spotted it, he took it back. Martin Stew has a story.
It looks likely to be a write-off, but nevertheless, Rowan Webb from Ipswich is pleased to have his car returned after he took it back off the thieves who stole it. The ex-soldier discovered it missing 2 weeks ago and immediately called the police.
Yeah, well, I'd like to report that my car's been stolen.
He also asked his friends for help.
I was really angry, really upset, and for some reason just came across me just send text messages out to everyone, to anyone. They may have just seen it. And at that time, I wasn't actually thinking of they're going to get the car back for me, but at least if I get another pair of eyes, it's something else I can report to the police.
Vicky Andrews is one of the friends who received the text. Having worked as a bouncer in Ipswich, she knew the right people to talk to.
Just asking around lads in general who are sort of on the streets and I sort of know. And they told me who stole the car, where they thought the car would be, and we just went from there, really.
Within a day, there had been numerous sightings, but despite keeping the police informed, it wasn't recovered. So 2 days later, when a friend called to say the car was parked outside a house, Rowan decided to steal it back.
Yeah, he was right. That's my car. That's my car.
Luckily, his key still worked. He jumped in and drove straight to the police station to report he'd got his car back. The police are still yet to have made an arrest.
I've lost all faith. I've lost all faith in them. And there's some bits of it where we actually contacted the police, we spoke to the police. One of the people that had actually seen the car suspected they knew who had stolen the car. I was with them, with the police. We made a formal report, and nothing has happened. Nothing has happened at all. So I have no faith in them. And in the future, I would say to them, yes, go through the normal channels. Tell the police that the car's been stolen, but don't rely upon them to do everything for you.
Well, no one from Suffolk Police was available for interview today, but in a statement they said, "We commend Mr Webb for the initiative he took and we're delighted that he got the vehicle back." They went on to say, "We have made contact with Mr Webb to discuss the way in which the case was conducted and we apologise to Mr Webb for any frustration caused by the investigation." Meanwhile, Rowan's been left without transport until his insurance company pays out. But at least he's been reunited with his car thanks to a lot of help from his friends. Martin Stew, Anglia News, Ipswich.